The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing one interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
Encroachment, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. And the penalty, it's Gurley. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do? And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility, the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's a right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be 4th down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll have Cam Newton calling the shots, the big man under center at 6'5", nearly 250 pounds.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Now Newton on 1st down. And his first look is incomplete. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level. And they insert their dime package, 6 DBs here on 3rd and 6.
Expecting pass all the way. From the gun, here's Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 13 and also a first down. And he is the NFC reigning offensive player of the week. You got to think, all the guys that take the field each and every week, that's not an easy award. Always has to feel good to grab it.
It has to feel great because it separates you, at least for a week, amongst your peers. And for him to separate again, he has to have the same type of a game. That means being explosive off the line of scrimmage and catching everything that comes his way.
Well, this is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And out across midfield down to the 45. 23 yards on the play.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, I think this is where a play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, grab that dagger play, grab that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
The numbers for McCaffrey last week. He was able to topple the 200-yard mark and a rushing touchdown for good measure.
And what I found surprising, all those yards he accumulated only found the end zone
just once.
That doesn't even seem fair, does it?
Can't find it. He lost the football. It's out.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Third and long. It's Newton. And this is going to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. 2nd and 9 now from the 21.
4 down.
Here's Goff now on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get him down here at the 23. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Here are your defensive starters for the Panthers. They were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
They held them to just 7 points, and in reviewing the game tape, I'm wondering how they got the 7. I actually wrote a note to myself. How did they even score? The way they were playing, absolutely dominating on their side of the ball.
Throwing on 3rd. Goff. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And now he pulls him over. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Here's Newton now on second down. Flushed out right. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Newton now to throw. That'll be caught by his tight end, Ian Thomas. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
They brought in the heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation, and sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a first down.
Pitching it out to McCaffrey. He's to the 10, and he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. First-quarter touchdown run. Remember, this coming on the heels of his NFC Offensive Player of the Week performance that was so great last week.
Did you feel the rumble all the way up here in the
big
booth?
bodies up front.
Big bodies moving people, and him, of course, charging through those great holes that were created.
Off to a great start here. Maybe looking for award number 2, adding to the award that he won last week in the NFC. Extra point, hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And that makes the score 7-0. Gano out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. From the gun on 3rd down. Gone. Man open, it's Cup. He's got it. It's the first catch of the game for Cup, and he's got a first down.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves him from a 3-and-out. On first down, it's Gurley. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Goff. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
Now a draw as Goff gives to Gurley. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Out of the gun, Goff. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down at the 28. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Hey. Sit.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 1 quarter down. 7-3 the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
Baby, get him, boy. Get him, boys.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving.
Come on now.
To throw on second down is Newton. On the catch, it's Jarius Wright. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hey.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this will be taken at the 13. Just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock, but barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
To throw on second down is gone. And that is incomplete here.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made. No grounding. Goff now looking to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And the Panthers coming out now. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that can put your team in some jeopardy?
The tackle there by Mark Barron.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Draw play as Newton gives to McCaffrey. Not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. The Panthers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. A shotgun snap for Newton. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Newton to Olsen there for a Carolina first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a first down throw for Newton. And the tight end Wilson, right side. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And at the 42-yard line here and brought down there. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
On 1st and 10, Newton. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Play action. Newton. They'll roll him out right. And he's got his target. That's more. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too.
Personal
he
foul.
may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
On 1st down, it's Newton. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Akeem Talib. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When we talk about Akeem Talib, technique is not the word that comes to mind, but don't worry about that. This guy anticipates as well as anyone in the league, and he did just that, picking off another pass.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. After the interception, here's Goff. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Now Gurley staying down. Well, let's hope he's all right. We'll check on his status when we get back. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. A shotgun snap for Gone. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here's Johnny Hacker now. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. And now with the time of the play clock almost up, Ron Rivera's going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Out of the gun, Newton. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 13 yards there, offset some of the penalty yardage as it's second down.
Do something. Right to the 3. 8. Look at that.
On second down, here's Newton. And he fires one incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Newton on first down. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. From the gun, here's Newton. Escaping the pressure right. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
Here's Newton, and he's got the veteran here. It's Mike Wallace. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. This is McCaffrey on the give, and he'll be taken down at the 34. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's Newton now on second down. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on third down. Now it's Newton. Able to shake him off, eluding the pressure right. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up fourth down. A final shot before the break. Newton. He's got his man. That's Wallace. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So we come upon halftime intermission here with the visiting Panthers taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, where it was the Patriots who were able to come away with the victory. Julian Edelman, a touchdown catch in the victory. From there, we head down south to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And they were winners in that one as they defeat the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Jameis Winston, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. And lastly, we'll all be tuned in on Monday night for what should be a great one between the Oakland Raiders and the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, in our game, not a lot of offense to go around. 7-3 is our score. Will we see things open up in the second half? To find out, we get it back to our guys in the booth, Brandon Godwin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
Now Newton. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, Newton. He's going to go for a big play downfield. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Olsen too much. Touchdown, Carolina! Greg Olsen, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers add on to their lead. Charles, that was a heck of a play.
It truly was, because when he made that catch, he had to shake through some people, right? So that play, to me, a highlight film that should be accompanied by bass music, right? I mean, boom, 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 and he finds his way to the end zone. Terrific play.
Gano for the extra point. Gano the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive, 4 plays, and Carolina scores to cap it off. Gano out to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the 3rd quarter. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. 3rd and long. It's gone. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Carolina getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it seems almost effortless.
To throw on second down is Newton. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Newton now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll give it up to McCaffrey, and he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. It's a gain of 6. Moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Here's McCaffrey. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They snap it to Newton. On the move to his left. He can, and the Panthers in for the score.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical.